Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. The onslaught on the Second Amendment continues. This video is about Maine. The entire state of Maine has a fight on their hands. I got this information from my buddies over at Gun Owners of Maine, and there are 25 bills that have been submitted for this legislative session, which is the 129th session in Maine. I will give a quick synopsis, or the title of each one of these bills, as well as the number, and I'll also have a link. If you want to research each one individually, you can go right to the website and look them up. But rest assured, no gun control is good, and it's all illegal. That's why we're all here. So the first one is LR, which means Legislature Request. It's like a pre-filed bill. LR 230, that is from Representative Hymanson out of York, Maine. And this is entitled, An Act to Create a Community Protection Order to Allow Courts to Prevent High-Risk Individuals from possessing firearms. That is a red flag bill. Maine has a red flag bill, an extreme risk protection order submitted. LR 230, something you need to take notice of and start the good fight. Next one, LR 23 from Speaker Gideon from Freeport. And this is an act to create safer communities in Maine, and that includes gun control. Number 3 is LR 269 from Representative Facto. That's an act to require the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife to implement a firearms safety and firearms violence protection program. Yeah, so you can see what they're doing, all right? They're taking it from the feds because they can't get what they want federally, because of the Constitution. Now they're going to try to enact it at the local levels and state levels. And Maine, of all places, extremely gun-friendly, hunter-friendly. They're going after it hard and heavy. LR 1358 from Rep. Costain is an act to address the welfare and safety of persons with mental illnesses involved in critical situations. LR 149, an act to create a community protection order to allow courts to prevent high-risk individuals from possessing firearms. Another attempt at a red flag. LR 234, an act to create a community protection order to allow courts to prevent high-risk individuals from possessing firearms. Geez, didn't I just say that? It's in multiple legislative requests. Multiple pre-filed bills are looking for a red flag in Maine. That's the third one already. LR 1462, an act to prohibit large capacity magazines. Maine is going after that 11th round and higher because 10 rounds is okay, but 11 makes you an assassin. The LR 2139, an act to implement an electronic background check for firearms license and permits. I believe that's just the state level. Apparently Maine doesn't have internet. I'm pretty sure they do. All background checks are submitted federally through NICS by the internet. If you're in Maine, please let us know in the comments what that one is all about. LR 1088, an act to allow municipalities to prohibit weapons at municipal public proceedings and voting places. You saw this just happen in New Hampshire, where they're trying to remove the right to carry from the State House and the galley floor. LR 546, an act to establish a statewide voluntary firearm collection day and ongoing program. That's your gun buyback. LR 147, an act regarding access to firearms by extremely dangerous and suicidal individuals. LR 1618, an act to protect children from accidental injury due to unsafe storage of firearms. That's your trigger locks and gun safes while you're home. LR 377, an act to protect children by requiring the safe storage of loaded firearms. That's another way of doing it. LR 1477, an act to prohibit untraceable and undetectable firearms. That's your 3D printed, your 80% lowers, your home firearm builds, everything that's legal, by the way, federally. LR 1953, an act to allow municipalities to prohibit weapons at municipal public buildings and voting places. A second attempt at that. LR 1096, an act to better enforce the prohibition against dangerous persons possessing firearms. LR 276, an act to require background checks for all private firearm sales or transfers. That's the universal background check that's come out federally they're trying to do. That's the Gabby Giffords law, or bill. They're trying to make it law. LR 431, an act to promote the safe use and sale of firearms. LR 1804, an act to reduce suicides and violent crimes by providing waiting periods for the sale of firearms. Time out. If someone is hell-bent on killing themselves, a waiting period is not going to stop them. They'll just move to the next implement. It's been proven, I don't know, for about 200 years now. No law passed on a firearm prevents somebody from wanting to take their life. Just doesn't happen. Let's be realistic. LR 1922, an act regarding gun control. I want to read these. These are not yet published on the Maine website. That title is just so damn vague. Inquiring minds want to know. They can go so many places with just that title alone. LR 1258, an act to allow municipalities to enforce noise ordinances imposed on shooting ranges. So they're going to try to remove shooting ranges by saying those gunshots are too loud. LR 527, an act to allow courts to prevent certain high-risk individuals from possessing firearms. That's the fourth or fifth attempt at a red flag there. Just going to word it differently every time. Throw it at the wall. Maybe one will stick. LR 1677, an act to promote safe schools through creation of safe school climate control. It's a gun bill. I can't wait to see how that one has to tie in guns. Probably a gun-free safety zone, because that bubble will make everybody safe inside. LR 1501, an act to allow municipalities to prohibit firearms on municipally owned property. Third attempt at eliminating a municipally owned property. However, municipally owned property is paid for by taxpayers, which means the citizens own it, we the people own it, and you shouldn't be able to prohibit my Bill of Rights or Maine's residents' Bill of Rights on property and land that they technically own, right? And believe it or not, the last one, number 25, LR 432, an act to reduce the number of domestic assaults and suicides. Gun control doesn't stop some clown from slapping his old lady or from some clown from slapping her old man. And since this is 2019, I guess some clown from slapping his old man or from her slapping her old lady, you get the picture. Regardless, the fact that you put a ban on my pen isn't going to stop me from writing a letter. These people, I'd like to say that they're crazy and they don't understand things, but believe me, these lawmakers are very cold and calculated and very educated on what they're trying to do and the best way to go about doing it where the people won't notice it. So there's 25 anti-gun bills submitted in Maine. I will include the link to the actual legislature site so that you can look these up as they become populated on the website. Again, thank you to my buddies over at Gun Owners of Maine for pointing this out. It's getting hot and heavy nationwide. I mean, Maine of all places. Maine is undergoing an attack like never seen before. Please pass this along. If you remember right now today on my Facebook page, and this might be where you're seeing it, could you share this for me? Because I'm in Facebook jail. They won't let me share my stuff to other gun groups. I've been a bad boy by posting the truth. Ah, Zuckerberg, you are a clown, sir. Until we see each other again, this is Jared from Guns and Gadgets. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapons. Spread the news, guys and gals. It's us versus them, and the us need to band together like never before. Take care, everybody.